We be live. Hello, everyone. Let me know if you have my audio so that we get started. My name is Armin Navabi. This is the Atheist Republic. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you have liked the stream. Today, we're going to be talking about Bassem Youssef. I don't know. How's my audio, guys? Have you liked the stream? Let me actually double check. You guys, let me actually go and to the stream myself. See if we have audio. Yes, fantastic. Audio is working. All right, guys, you know who this Bassem Youssef guy is, right? This is a celebrity, a comedian, an actor, a famous guy. A lot of people, anti-Israeli guy that a lot of Hamas sympathizers love. And Smile to Jannah is now talking about him. So let's actually listen to what he has to say. Guys, have you liked the stream? We be live. Yes, we are. We do be live. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right, good. Let me see. You guys are confirming that you have liked the stream. Audio sounds good. Okay, great. That means we can get started. So let's listen to Smile to Jannah. I don't know if you guys know Smile to Jannah, right? This is a very, very popular Islamic channel called Smile to Jannah. It's one of the biggest Muslim channels out there. And he's now going to be telling us what has happened so that we can respond to it, because this is actually quite telling.
Assalamu alaikum guys, and welcome to another episode of Smile to Jannah. I'm sure you have heard. If you haven't heard, you've probably seen the face of this man, Bassem Youssef, who is an Egyptian comedian, and many people don't know he's also a surgeon. And he has been instrumental in exposing Israel's hypocrisies and crimes very recently, since October 6+1. His video of course went viral on Piers Morgan when he used his satirical comedic approach to get the message.
Why does he say October 6+1? Why doesn't he not say October 7th? Look, guys, the level of desperation to forget October 7th and dismiss it as such a day. Look, guys, look how they're making fun of that day and dismissing it as an important day that we all have to remember. October 6+1. One of the greatest acts of genocide in our lifetime, and these people are dismissing it, like making light of it. They're making light of that day. Holy crap, man. October 6+1. This is so disgusting. These people are vile. Oh my God. Oh my God. October 6+1. And they say that they claim that these people are not Hamas sympathizers. They're making light of an act of genocide, of innocent civilians being killed, and things that I'm not gonna even mention here on YouTube. Unfucking believable. October 6+1. I didn't even notice that at first. And then I thought about this is oh my God, I want to puke. These people. And they look at this. These people act like their religion and their ideology is what brings morality. And this is how they refer to a day that we all have to remember. A genocide. Like, do you understand? This was an act of genocide. And you can't even mention the name of the day. You can't even mention the name of the day.
Egyptian comedian, and many people don't know he's also a surgeon. And he has been instrumental in exposing Israel's hypocrisies and crimes very recently, since October 6+1. His video.
Israel's crimes, he mentions Israel's crimes while mentioning the day that, oh my God, the words fail me. Words fail me. Israel's crimes since October 7th? What about the crimes on October 7th? Holy crap.
Video of course went viral on Piers Morgan when he used his satirical comedic approach to get the message across and win the hearts and the minds of many people.
Well, his message, he had no logic behind his comedy. Like, we reviewed some of this Bassem guy's videos, and he's full of shit. He's absolutely full of shit. I have no problem with using comedy and emotion to make a point, but after you actually use logic to show that you have a point, he doesn't have a point.
Of course, has made him a target. And on X, which is
So okay, so the whole point is that look, when you come and defend Palestine, but this is how he's referring to it. I refer to it as just being anti-Israeli. You become a target. So let's see what happened.
And win the hearts and the minds of many people. This, of course, has made him a target. And on X, which is supposed to be known for its freedom of speech, there is great talk of his page disappearing. Many people are alluding to the fact that it could have been banned. Even the news channels are getting involved and questioning why. What could possibly have happened? Because we have received nothing official from him. Even so, it doesn't stop Israel's official Twitter handle from giving their 2 shekels.
Wait, let me actually give it a wig. Can I just do a spoiler alert, guys? Can I just spoil this from because I think it's more funny if we listen to him while I'll spoil what happened. Okay, so he was not removed. Bassem eventually came and confirmed that no, my account, my X account wasn't taken down by X, and I don't wish to falsely victimize myself using this. By the way, he's lying. He's a hypocrite. I'll show you why. And then 2, when safety issues concerning my loved ones are alleviated, I might consider coming back. 3, I wish to deal with this away from media. 4, I will still be posting my content on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. Okay, so nobody took down his account. He took down his own account. So but it's always the Jews, right? It's always the Jews' fault. Like, oh my God, what happened to free speech? Well, he took down his own account. So now that you have that information, let's listen to him acting like a victim, acting like Israel. Oh my God, he was targeted because he was just such a warrior of freedom of expression and defending Palestinians, and that's what happened to his account. So keep that. By the way, I'm going to go after Bassem as well because he's acting like he doesn't want to be a victim, but he's lying. I will highlight that as well. But with that in mind, listen to all of this. Oh yeah, where's Alfred? Alfred can't make it today, so sorry about that. I'll try to pay attention to the live chat as well. But Alfred couldn't make it today.
Supposed to be known for his freedom of speech, there is great talk of his page disappearing. Many people are alluding to the fact that it could have been banned. Even the news channels are getting involved and questioning why. What could possibly have happened? Because we have received nothing official from him. Even so, it doesn't stop Israel's official Twitter handle from giving their 2 shekels. And they commented with a sarcastic bye, which is ironic since as they are the only democracy in the Middle East, shouldn't they be mourning about this when freedom of speech is being curtailed? No.
Can somebody help me out with the point that is being made here? Freedom of speech is being curtailed because the guy closed his account and he's still talking on Facebook and TikTok. If you're a democracy, if somebody is leaving Twitter and then you celebrate, you make fun of them and tell them bye, that violates democracy or freedom of expression. What way? By the way, can somebody explain that? Oh, you're the only democracy. Shouldn't you be upset about this? Like, no, what the hell? No. Why? How does that violate democracy? First of all, this is, even if his account was removed, this is a social media account. This is not freedom. This is not relevant to freedom of expression when it comes to being a democracy. When you're talking within the context of being a democracy, freedom of expression means that governments do not come and silence your speech. It doesn't mean that social media accounts don't remove you from their platform. So it's so stupid in so many different levels. You don't even know what happened. You admitted that you don't even know what happened. And you're saying Israel should be upset that his account is not on Twitter because they're a democracy, and this shows that they're not a democracy. I mean, how are you connecting these dots? This makes no sense. This is an anti-Israel advocate. So him going away, yeah, I could go like, okay, good riddance, goodbye, get the hell out of here. I'm happy that you're gone. I should be celebrating everyone's speech because I'm a freaking democracy? No. As a democracy, all I'm supposed to do is not shut up, not to remove speech using my governmental power. It doesn't mean that I can't. This is like these people do not understand the very basic of these concepts. Like they show it. They don't. In the same way that they criticize evolution, and when you talk to them about it, like you understand that, okay, you don't even know what you're talking about. And when we come and defend free speech, every time they see a response to their speech, they're like, oh, what happened to freedom of expression? What the hell are you talking about? Freedom of expression, that doesn't mean that we don't get to respond to your speech. We don't get to make fun of your speech. We don't get to show that there's consequences for your speech, as long as those consequences are not governmental force, then your free speech is not being violated. What does that got to do with anything? Like it's very important for me to show you, when these people are criticizing Western values, they don't understand what they're talking about. When we criticize Islam, we understand Islam more than they do. We have studied Islam more than they have. But when they are criticizing Western values, they don't even know the ABCs of what they're talking about. Let's continue.
No, of course not seen as since October the 6th plus 1.
Oh, by the way, Nima is here. Thank you so much, Nima. Nima is not, because Alfred is not here, so Nima is going to be highlighting your comments. Thank you so much for the backup is here. Backup force is here. Thank you.
Has taken place. They have killed over 100 journalists. And second,
okay. This is insane. The word, when you say they have killed more than 100 journalists, who has killed more than 100 journalists? Killed means targeted. Am I missing something here? If you say Israel has killed these journalists in Gaza, does that not imply that they were targeting and trying to remove those journalists? Does that not what this implies? Because in Gaza, obviously, when you are in such a crowded area where Hamas is hiding within the civilian population, of course, if you are a journalist there, this is going to be a very unsafe area for you. So the actual people responsible for the killing of those journalists is Hamas, not Israel. Don't blame Israel for the killing for the death of these journalists. Oh, thank you so much for the super chat. BGC is saying shekels for the Republic's budget. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate the shekels. I will make sure to convert those to shekels. Is that from Belgium? I think so. Anyways, let's continue.
They are the only democracy in the Middle East. Shouldn't they be mourning about this when freedom of speech is being curtailed? No, of course.
I mean, by the way, they are the only democracy in the Middle East. I don't know why you're going air quotes. The only democracy in the Middle East. I mean, you could cry about it. That's true. They're the only democracy in the Middle East. So what is it? Why is this air quotes? They are a reflection. I mean, shouldn't you actually? Here's the thing, Smile to Jannah. Shouldn't you actually be agreeing with that point? Wouldn't that actually be in your favor? Because if you want to demonize Israelis, you actually have to show. So which one is it? You have to pick a lane. Because you blame Israelis for electing the officials that are responsible for attacking Gaza. So that means that whatever the state of Israel is doing is a reflection of the people of Israel. So it's not air quotes a democracy, it's an actual democracy. Because if it's not an actual democracy, then you can't be blaming Israelis for this, what the state of Israel is doing. So look, the guy is trying to have it both ways. When he wants to demonize Israelis, he acts like Israel is actually a democracy where the will of the state is a reflection of the will of the people. But then when we want to actually celebrate Israel as a democracy, like, oh no, air quotes come now he uses air quotes. It's not actually a democracy. Which one is it, Smile to Jannah? Which one is it? Like, pick a lane. God damn.
not seen as since October the 6th plus 1 has taken place.
Look, he's still 6. Guys, this should remind us that this is a good reminder for us that October 7th should never be forgotten. Look how sensitive these people are about October 7th. He's still calling it October 6 plus 1. This shows how much remembering that day is bad for these people's propaganda. The fact that they're making fun of it, the fact that they're dismissing it, the fact that they can't even mention the day, that shows that it's like kryptonite. October 7th is kryptonite to these barbarians' ideology. So please do not forget October 7th. No matter how much these people tell you that, oh my God, you have nothing else but October 7th, it was a fucking genocide. Of course we're going to mention it over and over and over and over again. Why would we want to forget that day? So please, the fact that he's not calling it October 7th and he's calling it October 6th plus 1 is a reminder to you to make sure that you keep reminding people what happened on October 7th.
October the 6th plus 1 has taken place. They have killed over 100 journalists. And secondly, why on earth
they have not killed journalists? Hamas has killed those journalists.
Should they care what an Egyptian is saying about anything? What is the need for them to get involved in this comedian's fate on X? It sounds.
How are they being? It's a Twitter account. It's a Twitter account. It's supposed to be advertising the positions of Israel, and obviously takes positions against people who are anti-Israel. What are you talking about? What positions? You're acting like they removed him from Twitter.
Sounds like a great bout of insecurity to me. And it also validates the instrumental contribution Bassem Youssef has made in this PR war against Israel. So like I said, some are assuming the worst and saying that he has indeed been banned. Otherwise, he would have announced or said something, which made others look at his last tweet, which was critiquing the use of the term anti-Semitism, which he claims has now been watered down and stifles legitimate criticism of Israel. In fact, he also...
So look at this. He doesn't even know if his account has been banned or not. He admits that he doesn't know. But they're so anti-Semitic that even without waiting to see what happened, they have to blame the Jews somehow, which actually shows how Bassem is wrong. Like, let me see what Bassem was saying.
Legitimate criticism.
Let's go back here.
Being banned. Otherwise, he would have announced or said something, which made.
So so people are saying, look at the accusation, right? So this lady is saying, did X or Twitter just delete his account after this tweet? So what was Bassem saying? Bassem was saying anti-Semitism was an accusation that used to freeze the blood on people's veins. I see many people now realizing how this fear tactic is used to shut down conversation and scare people. It's been overused and abused in order to intimidate people. Are you still scared to be called an anti-Semite by those Zionists? Vote and tell me in the comments, no, I don't give a shit anymore, or yes, I am still scared. All right. So these people are trying to dismiss anti-Semitism of being a thing. But the fact, look at this, pay attention. The fact that he himself removing his account made people blame the Jews for his account being removed actually shows how widespread anti-Semitism is. Like, if everything is the Jews' fault all the time, apparently. The guy removed his own account and these people are blaming the Jews. That actually... Bassem, the fact you are demonstrating that how widespread anti-Semitism is. So congratulations, your actions actually undid the point that you were trying to make. And here's another interesting point. These people make the claim about anti-Semitism that, oh, people just throw it around. And again, some people do overuse it. But here's the thing, anti-Semitism is a real thing, and it's global, and it's widespread, and it's deep-rooted, and it's ancient. It's actually there, even though some people do overuse it. I've seen some people overuse it, but it's a real thing. You know what is the other thing that actually people use as a fear tactic to shut down conversation? And it's not a real thing. It's actually a fake thing. It's a made-up thing. Islamophobia. Because how come the very same people who say this about anti-Semitism don't realize that they have been doing this with the Islamophobia accusation? The same Smile to Jannah here that is saying like, oh, they just use anti-Semitism to shut down conversation, and now people are not afraid anymore. Well, let me just read Bassem Youssef's tweet right now here, but just let's replace the words here, right? So he says anti-Semitism. I'm going to replace it with Islamophobia. Listen to this. Islamophobia was an accusation that used to freeze the blood on people's veins. I see many people now realizing how this fear tactic is used to shut down conversation and scare people. It's been overused and abused in order to intimidate people. Are you still scared to be called an Islamophobic by those Islamists or leftists? Vote and tell me in the comments. No, I don't give a shit anymore. Or yes, I'm still scared. There you go, Bassem. I fixed it for you. So let's continue.
Did others look at his last tweet, which was critiquing the use of the term anti-Semitism, which he claims has now been watered down and stifles legitimate criticism of Israel. In fact,
oh yeah, so Islamophobia. First of all, I'm a Zionist myself. Anti-Semitism is a thing. It's the most widespread hatred in the goddamn planet. So that's the thing. And I have critiqued Israel. You know, how about this? And Zionists all around the world have welcomed my criticism. So there's criticism, right? And then there's people who want to wipe out Israel, who want to destroy Israel, who want to kill all the Jews around the world, who are anti-Semites. So no, anti-Semitism is not a tool widely used to shut down critique of Israel. Because I know that, because as a Zionist myself, I have constantly criticized Israel, and it has not been seen as anti-Semitism. Why is it that my criticism of Israel is not seen as anti-Semitism, and yours is seen as anti-Semitism? Does it have anything to do with your ideology that you support, that actually advocates for wiping out all the Jews? Is it because of that? Is it because your support for Hamas and Hezbollah? Is it because of that? Is it because of you making excuses for terrorists who are trying to constantly kill all the Jews all around the world? Maybe your criticism is not, because my criticism for Israel is for the betterment of Israel, for improving Israel, because I love Israel. You do not criticize Israel. You want to destroy Israel. That's the difference. That's why you're an anti-Semite and I am not. That's the difference. And but by the way, listen to this. Would you say this about Islam? Listen
use
to
of
this.
the term anti.
Yeah, also here's actually somebody in the live chat saying Zionists criticize Israel. Bring that back, Nima. Hold on, this. This one. Zionists criticize Israel the most as they want the place for the Jews to live to be a good one. Yes, actually, that's a very good point. Okay, do you know when we criticize Israel? Do you know what's the source of our information, guys? Do you know what is the most well-researched, aggressively brutal criticism of Israel? Do you know where that comes from? People in the live chat? It's Israeli media. It's Israel's media. It's Israelis. All the things that we have against Netanyahu or Ben Gvir or every other official or every other political party or movement in Israel, all the well-researched information that we have where we criticize these people or the decisions or the movements in Israel comes from Israel's media, from other Zionists. You fucking shit. What is like, they're trying to shut down, these Zionists are trying to shut down criticism of Israel. The criticism comes from Israel, you moron. But look at this. Listen to this.
Critiquing the use of the term anti-Semitism, which he claims has now been watered down and stifles legitimate criticism of Israel. In fact, he also posted.
Yeah, so would you say about that, would you say that legitimate criticism of Islam is constantly being labeled as Islamophobia to shut down conversation and scare people? Would you say that about Islamophobia? Would you say that? I mean, I don't think you would say that, because as a Muslim, you don't believe that there is such a thing as a legitimate criticism of Islam, because Islam is perfect. How convenient.
A quote of Shulamit Aloni, whom I ended up using this week in Speaker's Corner. There was somebody called Shulamit Aloni.
Yeah.
Shulamit Aloni used to be in the cabinet, is the Israeli cabinet, and she won the Israel 2000 prize as well. Yeah? It's a very prestigious prize in Israel. She said anti-Semitism? What anti-Semitism? It's a trick.
It's a trick. I remember this quote.
Yeah. It's a trick
We
to
always use it.
divert any criticism, legitimate criticism towards Zionist Israel.
Yes, I mean it is.
So look how they're taking that out of context. She, like I said, some people overuse the word anti-Semitism. I've seen that, and she was specifically talking about those instances where people are misusing that. Like she was saying, where is the anti-Semitism here? She's saying that as a Zionist, she's a Zionist, you're quoting a Zionist, okay? She's basically criticizing Israel herself, and other people are criticizing, like, this is not anti-Semitism. But she's not denying anti-Semitism. She's not denying that it's a thing around the world. She's denying that that was anti-Semitism. It's not like she's not denying that anti-Semitism is the most widespread global hatred against the Jews, that's the thing that exists. Yeah, I mean, she's an Israeli, and also she's some people are pointing out that she was an extreme leftist. So, and also another interesting thing, Israel has a lot of people that say things that we don't agree with. It's like, oh my God, there's an Israeli who said this. Well, here's the thing. I went to Israel. I met Israeli citizens who think that it was justified for Palestinians to do suicide attacks on Jews in Israel. Israel is a big country. Obviously, it has many people with many different views. We have many sane people in Israel, and we also have people with insane views in Israel as well. So I'm not saying this woman herself has questionable views, but at the end of the day, she doesn't want to see the destruction of Israel as a whole. She is, by my definition, even though she has some crazy views, she, by my definition of a Zionist, right? So yeah, exactly. People are saying, yes, she was a leftist. She probably has views that we disagree with, but she's a Zionist. She doesn't want Israel to be destroyed as a country. Even though she has views, criticism against Israel that I don't think was justified, at the end of the day, if the goal is to make Israel better. But even if we put her aside, there are actually people in Israel that have crazy views, that have crazier views than like you're even far leftist. Again, I went to Israel. I met a ethnically Jewish person who was actually saying, Israeli citizen, ethnically Jewish person, who was saying like, I think that these Palestinians are correct. They have the right to attack Israel with their terrorist attacks. So I mean, Israel has 9 million people. Of course you're going to find people with crazy views there. Are you going to just like randomly pick somebody there and be like, oh my God, look at this person, they're Israeli and they're admitting that this is correct? That's not how you should come up with conclusions. Do you deny the point that you have to look at is that, do you deny that anti-Semitism is a real thing that is widespread globally? You're using two methods to try to dismiss this global widespread hatred of the Jews. One, some people overusing it, which always happens. Two, some Jew somewhere and Israeli somewhere saying that this is being overused. These examples are anecdotal. It's not going to make anti-Semitism not a thing. And the fact that you're trying to dismiss how big of a deal anti-Semitism is shows how significant anti-Semitism is. The fact that you're trying to downplay the most ancient, the most deep-rooted, the most widespread hatred globally, you're trying to use these anecdotal evidence to try to make it seem like as if it's not a thing, actually proves our point. Because the more widespread the hatred is, the more normalized a community of people are trying to make it to be. Because the normalization and the lack of seriousness of this hate means that it has been systematized, that it has been so normalized that it's invisible. That's what you guys are showing. That's what you are proving to us. Anyways, let's continue.
So yeah, this is not something that is an opinion of his. This is something that even Israelis acknowledge and have said. Not
No. You're quoting a Zionist, you idiot, okay? And Israelis, you just use one example and now you're just trying to generalize. What are you talking about? Do you think Israelis as a whole, on average, would deny how widespread anti-Semitism is and how big of an issue is? You just find one person somewhere saying a quote that you're quoting it out of context, a woman who is a Zionist, Zionist, what does that mean? Meaning that it's legitimate, that there is enough hatred around the world for Jews for you to understand that it's justified for the state of Israel to exist because of the widespread anti-Jewish hatred that is all across the world. Look how he's changing. Look how these people, the very same people who cry about people taking Quranic verses out of context, look how they take quotes out of context to try to make a point like that. And unbelievable. Unbelievable.
forgetting there are others that are saying that his account has been deactivated because the error message that comes when you search for his page is reminiscent of other pages in the past that have also deactivated their accounts. But then that raises other questions, which is why on earth would he deactivate his page? Was he threatened? Was he coerced? And who was first on the crime scene? Oh, hello Israel. Who has motive? Oh, hello Israel. And lastly,
see, he's trying to dismiss anti-Semitism as a thing, and now he's showing that how big of a deal anti-Semitism is. You know why? Because he's blaming Israel without actually having evidence, without actually knowing what happened. Like, oh, I have no idea what happened. I don't know if he was banned. I don't know if he removed his own account, but that's not going to stop me from blaming Israel. Ha. Well, don't let lack of information and evidence get in your way, Small Susanna. Well, I mean, I'm not going to miss an opportunity. I'm not going to wait and make a video about this. Why should I wait? I mean, it's obviously Israel's fault. Why should I need to wait to see what happened and wait for evidence? It's a safe bet to assume that it was Israel. And thank you so much, Small Susanna, because anti-Semitism confirmed. Anti-Semitism confirmed. Oh, by the way, we got 2 super chats that I forgot to read. One is by Mary, super sticker. Thank you so much, Mary. And then we got another 15 shekels from Ginga saying, "Love you, Armin. Keep up the good work, you beautiful Persian." Well, thank you so much. Thank you very much. But by the way, just to be clear, I prefer to my nationality as my identity rather than my ethnicity, right? So, I mean, I appreciate the super chat. However, it's true that my ethnicity is Persian. However, I don't value ethnic identities. I value national identities more than ethnic identities. So my national identity is Iranian, Iranian and Canadian. But Iranian would be what I would like to highlight more than my ethnic identity. Let me know what you think about that, guys, by the way. I don't think ethnic identities are important.
Who has motive? Oh, hello, Israel. And lastly, what's even stranger is that when you search up his profile on X, only 2 accounts come up, namely Elon Musk and number 2, the butcher from Israel.
Okay, so he says like, oh my God, so here's proof that it was Israel that removed Bassem Youssef. When you search for Bassem Youssef, Elon Musk will show up, and also Benjamin Netanyahu will show up. How does this show that it was Israel that removed his account? How does this prove that? I mean, I'm just guessing. Maybe that doesn't that suggest that these are the accounts that he was responding to the most? Isn't that what it suggests? Like, why would Twitter's algorithm or X's algorithm be designed in a way that when they remove an account, there's something in their code that will make it that the people responsible for the removal of an account will show up when you search for the account? Is that what he's suggesting, or am I misunderstanding him? Or is he saying like, oh, the people who removed his account, they just left their card at the crime scene, and that they're doing this on purpose to be like, haha, yes, we did it? Is that what he's suggesting, guys? Am I missing something? Because that sounds insane. Am I missing the point that he's making? Because if he's making that point, that is absolute insanity. This guy is stupid. Wait, somebody is like trying to insult me. It's very funny. This guy. Okay. So this guy's trying to insult me. So Willow Vogue is saying, Armin, you have the gay mouth lips. Wow! Oh no! Oh, what an insult! Oh, Roy is saying, you handsome Iranian man. Well, thank you. Oh, thank you, Roy. Roy, we should do a stream together. Oh yeah, Roy actually sent me something that I need to do a show on. Thank you so much for the super chat, Roy. That's very sweet. Okay, let's continue.
Oh, hello, Israel. And lastly, what's even stranger is that when you...
Oh, he meant it as a compliment? Well, thank you. Okay, thank you. Okay, he meant it. Some people are saying, Armin, I think he meant it as a compliment. Oh, okay, well then I appreciate that. Okay, thank you.
Who has motive? Oh, hello, Israel. And lastly, what's even stranger is that when you search up his profile on X, only 2 accounts come up, namely Elon Musk and number 2, the butcher from Israel, Mr. Benjamin Netanyahu. Incredibly strange and fishy, if you ask me. But
what does that show? Guys, I'm really missing the point here. Bassem's account was removed. When you search for his account, Elon Musk's and Benjamin Netanyahu show up. Like, oh, that is suspicious. How is that suspicious? So Israel is behind removing his account because when you search for his name, BB's account shows up? Huh? Can somebody connect the dots here for me? Is Small Kijana that stupid? He cannot be that stupid. He cannot be this stupid. Is he that stupid? Oh my, okay.
like I said, nothing official has been mentioned, but what is there in front...
But it's the Jews. That's what he said. Guys, like I said, we have no evidence. Nothing official has been said. However, it's the Jews. The Jews. Of course, the Jews. Like, why should we stop? We don't need evidence. No evidence required. The Jews. That's always the Jews. David saying, yes, Armin, he is that stupid. Okay.
of us is indeed dubious and worrying. I hope Bassem is okay and we hear about what's happened, the clarifications of it very soon. Let's leave it there, guys. Until next time, Assalamu alaikum.
Okay. So let's look at actually something about something about Bassem himself, because So we know Bassem was his account was not removed. According to himself, he removed his account himself, right? But here's an interesting thing. Before he came and admitted, so this is the one. This is the one that he admitted. So he's like, no, my ex account was not taken down, right? But let's look at this. This is what he eventually said when people asked him. But this is what he said earlier. He made two posts, one about Israel's Twitter. So when Israel tweeted by Bassem Youssef, Israel's Twitter account, right? He posted on Instagram. Is this Instagram? Yes, it's Instagram. He criticized Israel, saying, how fragile can you be when the official account of your country is basically saying something like this? But here's another interesting thing. He posted this. I am not sure if or when my Twitter account will be back. I am here on Instagram and Facebook, and any other account posting as me on Twitter is fake. I don't wish to make any media statement or interviews about that now. Thank you. Do you notice something about his statement here? Eventually, after this, he came out and said, like, no, they did not remove my account. I myself removed my account. But look, do you notice something about this post? Does he not sound like he's acting like his account was removed? So here's what happened. People are like, oh no, they removed Bassem's account. And when he made a post about it, he did not say that my account was not removed. The language being used here makes it seem as if his account was removed. Look, he said, I am not sure if or when my Twitter account will be back. He's not saying, I am not sure when I will come back on Twitter. This is a language that you would use if somebody removed your account. I'm guessing that he's enjoying the victimization. Like a lot of people are going out and saying like, oh no, they're silencing Bassem. And he's like, yes, this feels nice. I am the victim. Because he knew at this point when he was posting this, he knew his account was not removed. He knew that he himself removed his account. But then people figured it out, because it's obvious, like when your account was removed or when you yourself removed your account, it looks different. So at this point, he didn't realize that it's obvious, and he's acting like he's the victim here. I am not sure if or when my Twitter account will be back. That means that he was removed, that he's acting like he was removed. So the language would have been, I'm not, if, and then he makes in, after that, he's making an excuse that I'm not going to talk about it, because he wants people to keep saying that, oh no, why you did this to Bassem? Look, nobody would use this language if they themselves remove their own account. I am not sure if or when my Twitter account will be back. My Twitter account will be back? No, if I remove my account myself, I would say, I'm not sure when I will be back on Twitter. If you say when my account will be back, it means that it's up to other people. It means it's up to other people. It means my account was removed. He was just trying to this is him not trying to not say officially that my account was removed, but also keep enjoying the victimization. Eventually he had to come out and say that, oh no, I removed my account, but I'm still somehow the victim. But you see how you see how sneaky he's trying to be here? I'm here on Instagram and Facebook, and I'm not going to, I wish not to make it, he's like, I don't want to lie, but I also don't want to end this victimization party. So I'm not going to make a statement about it. Look at this. The very simple question of whether I left Twitter or Twitter removed me, he was trying not to answer that. Eventually he had to answer it, but he was trying not to answer that. These people are professional victims. That's what they are. They're trying to be victims no matter what. That's what's happening here. I don't know what Wheel of Woke is trying to say here. His grammar. So Nima is highlighting his comments for me to read, but his grammar is so bad. I don't understand what he's saying. What I don't understand this point. Armin talks about how some Israelis are like this, not how the whole government are this, or how no. No. You're misunderstanding. They're trying to dismiss. They're using some examples to dismiss anti-Semitism as a legitimate concern. That's what they're trying to do. I know these people. I've been following them for years. Oh, here, let me look at this. Palestine is flattened, and all the Muslims can do is shout "Free Palestine." What a bunch of losers! Yeah, I mean, if you want to actually save Palestine and actually help Palestine rebuild, then you should be supporting Israel. Okay, because no matter how many times you rebuild Palestine, if Hamas is still there, this whole thing will happen over and over and over again. At some point, Hamas will get strong enough to do another attack, and Israel is forced to come in. And if Israel is forced to come back in, they cannot send their soldiers in between all these buildings where Hamas is able to use booby traps and just take them out like sitting ducks. They would have to flatten these areas to be able to actually carry out their operations, and then all these people will lose their home. The only way for you to make sure that the next time that you do building of Gaza is the last time you have to build it from scratch is for Israel to actually succeed in removing Hamas's military power and governmental power in Gaza once for all. That will make it so that the next time you rebuild Gaza, it's the last time you have to do it from scratch. So if you want to free Palestine, then support Israel and free Palestine from Hamas. Yes. Oh, okay. So Purple is actually making a good point as well. Proposing fun fact: the far left in Israel gives each other awards to gain credibility. It's so silly. Yeah, it's actually because Smile to Jenna was like, well, this person got an award in Israel. Yeah, far left people get awards by other far left people in Israel. It doesn't make them right. I mean, even if she was right in that point or not, that doesn't prove any. That doesn't make like, oh my God, this person got an award in Israel. That's not an argument. That is not an argument, sir. Sir, that's not how you build up a large. You need premises. You need to connect the premises to a conclusion using some valid and sound argument, and you need to show that if we accuse you of having some logical fallacies in the formation of this argument, that our accusations are incorrect. Saying somebody somewhere got a prize and that makes their word credible. That's not how arguments are made. I'm sorry. Yes. What? I don't know what this means. What? So what is this? Somebody saying, why do Israelis always have to be the best and always complain they were treated the worst? Because that is close to true. I mean, Israelis are, on average, I mean, look at their performance. I mean, I don't know if you're talking about Israelis or Jews, but performance-wise, they are relative to other people. And again, when I say Jew, I don't care about the Jewish ethnic identity, but because of the culture and because of the history and because of the background that these people have had. I mean, this is not like biological, this is environmental, but for some reason they perform, that population is performing better than most other populations, right? I mean, it's basically a head-to-head competition between East Asians and Jewish people, but when it comes to science, technology, finance, for some reason, for some historical reason, again, not biological reason, but for some historical reason, these people are the best on average in the world. So why do Israelis always have to be the best? Well, that's a well, that's a fact that they are at least close to the best. But the reason is probably has something to do with the fact that they were treated the worst. Actually, these two are connected. Actually, that's a very good question, because these 2 points are connected, and also always complained that they were treated the worst. Let me actually tell you why. They complained that they were treated the worst because they are treated the worst. So they are some of the best, and they are treated the worst, and these two statements are connected. So Jews are not performing better than the rest of the planet because there's something genetically about Jewishness that makes you superior, right? That's not what it is, right? It's environmental. And the environmental part of it is partly because they were treated the worst, and they had to come up with a culture and some survival mechanism, a defense mechanism that gave them a set of talents, okay, and skills and culture that made them perform better than other people. So it's in response to the treatment. I mean, I could get into a lot of details of how that worked, but now it's not the topic of the stream. But these two are actually related. Their higher performance is because of the reaction that they have had to have for their survival to the treatment that they were to the bad treatment that they had to dealt with for generations. That is actually the answer. Interesting, actually, that you asked that question, because these two are connected. Do you like that answer? Do you like that answer? Do you like that answer? Tell me. Give me a like if you appreciate that answer. And also, guys, please recommend this channel. So this is the end of the stream. I'm going to go get ready for my Persian show. If you appreciate these streams, I need you to do something about it. Don't just be like, oh, yeah, that was a good stream. It was both entertaining and informative. Well, now I spent an hour doing the stream for you. You could spend a second liking the stream. And if you want to give me more support, you could spend 5 seconds leaving a comment after the show is over. And then if you really want to support me, really want to support this channel, you could spend 10 seconds recommending the Atheist Republic YouTube channel to a friend or an enemy or anything in between, okay? So please go ahead and do that. And also, if you're watching this on Twitter, come to YouTube, search for Atheist Republic on YouTube, and subscribe to us there. Yes. Oh, Mary is saying, thank you, Armin, and chat people. Well, thank you. And thank you to Nima and Dolly. Dolly, are you still here? Dolly was the one who prepared the stream. Oh, and we just got a new member. See, I'm just rambling because I was hoping somebody becomes a member or something. Thank you for Kurs Bratton for becoming a member. I appreciate that. Okay, fantastic. Dolly for preparing the stream. Nima for highlighting your comments. I appreciate you guys. And I'm going to go get ready for my Persian show. Till next stream, stay liberal.